being positive doesn't make you happy. Now that I said that, are you like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever? Well, let me tell you, positivity does bring a temporary endorphin releasing happiness, but it is very short-lived. The human experience is ego. We come here with this unhealthy ego that tells us a lot of crappy stuff about ourselves, often tells us we're not good enough, and it's just these really loud voices that tell us that we're not successful enough, we're not the right weight. We criticize ourselves, especially with social media. We look, it's a whole bunch of judgment, and oftentimes, like I said, very, very loud. But we also have a healthy ego, and that healthy ego makes us feel good. And it kind of tells the other one to just, be quiet for a second. And I see it as this little cheerleader telling us, you can do it, you got this. And oftentimes, if we've lived in the unhealthy ego and we find the healthy ego, we have a tendency to just want to feel this because this is what makes us feel good. This gets us excited. It releases all this energy inside of ourselves. But you'll notice what happens is that sometimes when shit hits the fan, when bad things happen, this one pops up and tells us these negative, bad feeling things. And then we find ourselves fighting in the human experience. Now, there is this third aspect of ourselves that is here in reality, but I say it's lost in the pinky toenail of everybody. And a lot of people find themselves connecting with it at random moments throughout the day. So do you find yourself like looking at the clouds and there's this cool shaped cloud, or there's a gust of wind that just hits your face and you're like, oh, that's nice. Or you wake up to this sunrise and you're like, oh my gosh, that's stunning. And there's no judgment towards the wind. There's no judgment whether it's positive or negative. You're just living this experience of the observer. And that's why I call the consciousness, the spirit, the soul is just the observer. And you'll notice that the more you meditate, the more you'll find yourself connecting to this consciousness, this part of yourself. And that's where the true happiness it's not just the happiness, it's that inner peace that you find, because that one doesn't judge the negative ego and the positive ego. It just knows that this is needed and this is needed, and they're both okay. There is nothing that outside of ourselves that we can do. We can't change the past. We can try to work towards a future, but it just doesn't even judge any part of anyone. It doesn't judge you. And to reconnect with that and make your consciousness louder on bad days, I strongly suggest you do that. Now, in order to do that, a lot of people are like, that's great, I don't know how to meditate, I can't do that, which I have a lot more videos that explain of how to meditate, how to get in touch with that part of yourself that you've lost or is in your pinky toenail. But the main thing before meditation that I strongly suggest that anybody should do is to understand that these two ego selves are still not us. It's like basically our brain. It's our physical selves, our physical body that we can, evaluate. Okay, this has emotion, this has emotion. We have thoughts and emotion. That's the reality that we live in. But there's something outside of ourselves, something that nobody can explain and science can't explain. And it just arrives in this little baby body when we're little and has this human life, human experience. And when you connect that consciousness, what I call consciousness, with the flowers and the trees and nature and just everything around you, and you reconnect and go outside. I also say to connect with your senses. Connect with the senses, because once you're outside and you're looking, even if you're in your house even, you're just connecting with the senses and you're eating a fruit and you eat it and you're enjoying, you're connecting. It's like you have this soul experience, this spirit, outer spirit experience that just overtakes your body. And you're not judging the food you're eating. You're just taking it in. You're not thinking about the past. You're not thinking about the future. And you're not stressing about anything. You're just living in the moment of what you're feeling. And when you touch something, and every sense you do, and we also have way more than 5 senses. We have sense of direction, right? Like telling us where to go. So as you're walking, say, how cool is it that my body and my brain automatically knows where to go? If I want to go to eat food, I'm going to go to the fridge. My brain and my body just automatically, my sense tells me to go to the fridge. But as you're doing that, you're like, that's so cool. I'm walking to the fridge because I know that the food is in the fridge. It's an automatic sense and it's unconscious. So if we start connecting with all those parts of ourselves all the time, every day, you'll start to live in the now. And then you'll stop judging these. These will stop fighting. And then when they do, you just have to recenter yourself. And I do believe, for me anyway, meditation has been a huge part in reconnecting with the true Tanya, the true essence of who I am, and knowing that this unhealthy ego and this ego is a part of me, the positive and the negative. But those parts are not inside of me. They are things that I can observe and look at and give compassion to. So if you want to know more about meditation, please check out my other videos on where to start. And I give some great tips. And I really hope that I explain this properly. If you have any questions, please comment and like the video. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. I love you.